Breaking legal news. From victim of a devastating accident to accused of terrorist threats. Livelihood destroyed. Burdened by debt. Did desperation drive this woman to the brink of crime? My livelihood was ruined. That $72,000 truck I still have to pay for.
I don't know what the issue is, but I think that, you're calling it and not being very nice to my staff.
No, me and her had a good conversation. I mean, the lady, she said she was even going to try to help me. She didn't want to let me come today. That's how I got that information.
You weren't supposed to be here today. We gave you a date of December 16th.
Yeah, but when I called and I explained to her that I won't be here, I won't have nowhere to stay while I'm here, and I told her, she said, bring my information, my documents that I had to prove that I had eviction and I was moving back home to my mom. So how can I be here on December 16th if I'm leaving on the 15th?
You've got this case open, right? So you can't just
I know that's,
move and leave without taking care of this first,
I know, but that was already arranged. That's why I called and did due diligence to say, hey, how do I go about this process?
Okay, so you need a lawyer, right? We spoke about that last time.
That's why I brought everything to show that I have an eviction. How can I pay for a lawyer? I don't even have the money for one.
If I remember last time you came here, you said you have your own business. You've got
because I have business that
4
doesn't
trucks.
make money. Yeah, I did, but I'm here because the guy who I'm here for ruined that truck, totaled the truck, and I don't have it. I never got it back. That's why I'm here. My livelihood was ruined by the guy that I'm here for.
And now charged with terroristic threat.
That's fine.
You've been filed on for this case.
I just came here to respectfully see how can I go about the process that a person, when I called, a rep told me to do this. So I came here to respectfully go about the process the right way so I don't miss court. Paper says if you can't make it to do your due diligence, so I'm doing my due diligence and I'm not getting the, I guess, response or help. I don't know.
Okay, so you work now currently, right?
My livelihood, no, my work was my truck. It is ruined, it is gone. I have no work. The guy I was here for that worked with me crashed and totaled my truck, which means my work, my only livelihood, my business is ruined.
What were you doing before?
I had my business for 6 years.
Doing what?
Running a commercial fleet service, 26-foot box trucks.
Okay, and how much money were you making a month?
Monthly, after pay, I would say maybe 8,000, and that's including paying for the truck note, truck insurance, and rent.
Okay, so how much money do you make now a month?
I haven't made money since he trashed my truck, which was what, September 28th or something like that.
So you tell me you've been out of work since September,
I have been getting help
now in November?
I've been out, I don't have work, I had a business.
How do you support yourself now?
Family is helping me, which is why I say I'm going back home to my mother who's helping me. I worked very hard in my life. I'm not a dummy. I have degrees. I worked very hard in my life. I worked for American Red Cross. I also have a phlebotomist ticket. I also have a real estate license. I'm not dumb, stupid, or slow. You're not talking to the one who's sitting here in front of you claiming something. I've worked hard in my life with the American Red Cross for 12 years. Not dumb, stupid, or slow. I opened a business. I started a business and the man ruined my business. And I'm here for free. Yes, I did. If you call it a terrorist, call it what you want. Someone ruined my livelihood that I worked very hard for, would not return it. I don't have the keys to my livelihood. $72,000 truck with a loan still on it that I still have to pay for. I don't have it.
I can give you an application for an appointed lawyer. We need you to fill it out. Don't just put zeros. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have at the bank, how many cars you have, house, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, IRAs. Just fill it out and I'll take a look if you qualify. And if you qualify.
Again, if I'm not going to be here, I have an eviction. I don't know what more you need to see if you need me to miss court because I'm not going to be here or be sleeping on the street. I don't know if that's what you want from me. That's not how I live my life. That's not how I went to school to plan to live my life. I don't know if you want me here living on the street. We get the court December 16th, but again, if I have an eviction that I brought to you from a community complex, a legal document, where do you want me to leave it to December 16th?
You can't just take off.
I did not say that. That's why I am here to ask you the correct procedure. That's why I am here. I came here to ask you to do my due diligence, so I don't just take off. I could have a million people just take off. I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm just not getting the proper answer.
I don't appreciate your passive aggressive.
I'm just trying to do my due diligence, and you're just saying, I don't know.
I know that you're touting the due diligence word, and I've told you also repeatedly that you need a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer can give you guidance. I cannot. I can't give you legal advice. I cannot give you guidance. I can only tell you that you need a lawyer, what you're charged with, what you're facing, the bond conditions that you have. At this point in the game, it's lawyer. You need a lawyer. I've told you that you need to go hire one. You're telling me that you don't have money, that you've not worked since September. So the next stage is I give you an application to fill out. And I'm going to give you an application to fill out, but don't give it to me with all zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. Just fill it out honestly, fill it out thoroughly, and I'll take a look whether you qualify. And if you do, I'll provide you with a court-appointed lawyer. But you got to understand, in this life, the way that you've acted to me, the way that you've threatened the staff, the way that you've threatened my coordinator on the phone, in this life, you get
Your coordinator, I had a very good conversation.
Your only discussion was with the judge.
you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
I'm sorry, can I say something? Me and the coordinator had very good conversation. So what coordinator did you spoke to that told you that? Because we had a good conversation and she just said no. I had a very good conversation with the coordinator who actually told me, no, come up here tomorrow. I said, I could come next. She said, no, come tomorrow. If I was you, gave me correct steps. So I don't know. It wasn't Latoya furlough. I don't appreciate that because I've never had an incorrect conversation with anyone on the phone. I called one time and got that information one time from a lady who thinks, and I had a conversation outside of this with that person on the phone. So it was not a rude conversation at all, for not even a second.
A big part of this life is also listening. I've been trying to explain you stuff as well. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar in every aspect of life. If you act like this to the lawyer that we give you, you're not going to have a good relationship and it's not going to go well. So remember, be patient, be nice. It takes a while to get evidence. Rome wasn't built in a day. So if we give you a lawyer today and you start hooting and hollering, well, I don't have this, I don't have that, it takes time.
Yes, sir, you're judging me. I'm not like that. I'm not like that.
I'm just telling you to be patient and be nice because it goes a long way in every aspect of life. All right, do you mind giving an application? Thanks.
Judge, I don't want to get into the facts or anything, but I just want to correct any misrepresentations that were made to the court. The complaint.
Wait, hold on.
The complainant in this case is not her former employee, it's his family. So the people that she was named, his brother-in-law, sister, and their child. I just want to make that known to the court. It was not the employee that was the complainant in the terroristic threat.
Okay. Do we have proper bond conditions in place now?
They don't speak English. Yeah, say anything.
Ma'am, Ms. Furlow, it's not your turn to say anything. Just please. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right.
It looks like there's a no contact as part of the bond conditions, which I think is.
On the appropriate complaining witness?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So, ma'am, if you just mind, be so kind to take a seat.
Breaking news
Mr. D.
from U.S. courts. A terrorist threat just unfolded at a vape shop, and the suspect is none other than a recently fired employee. Where the fuck is she? I got something for her ass. Furious words, accompanied by a suspicious gesture as the suspect touched an unknown object under his waistband, making witnesses fear a gun. He got louder and louder. I was really scared. The store manager, the direct target of the threats, has been living in terror, even afraid to go to work. I was in fear for my life.
How's it going? Mr. Wilson, you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Understood.
How old are you, sir?
18 years old.
Here with anyone today?
No, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 9th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a terroristic threat call at Vape City in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with a witness. The witness stated the defendant, an employee, arrived and began yelling, "Where the fuck is she at? Where is she at?" The witness stated he was confused as to who the defendant was referring to and stated the defendant mentioned the name of Millie, the manager of the store. The witness stated he told the defendant the manager was not at the location, to which the defendant began yelling, "When she fucking comes back, you call me, you let me know because I got something for her ass. She fired the wrong fucking one and I hope it was worth the fucking job. Her ass is the one on the line." The witness stated he became afraid as the defendant got louder with each statement. The witness stated the defendant tapped a solid unknown item in the front of his waistband, which the witness stated was possibly a gun. The witness stated he informed the complainant of the incident, and the complainant advised the defendant was recently fired. The complainant stated she reported the incident to management and was ordered not to go to the store. The complainant stated she was in fear for her life and felt unsafe going to work.
Mr. Wilson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. If I test you now, what are you going to test positive for?
For alcohol.
I'm going to send you for a drug and alcohol test. You're to come right back. If you fail to come back, if you fail to take the test, I will issue a warrant. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Understood.
Okay, I'll have you take the test while you come back, and then we'll talk about your lawyer situation when you get back, sir.
Thought-provoking legal news. A marijuana possession hearing unveils a stark warning about the future and harsh social realities. Accepting a plea deal for a lighter sentence, defendant Wakefield receives blunt advice from the judge about his misguided path and hopeless future. You have no job, use drugs. Where will you be in 30 years? The judge emphasizes the difficulties faced by people of color and urges the defendant to change to avoid becoming a statistic.
Because then it'll go sideways real quick. Mr. Wakefield, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine due to the amount. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail credit for the
4 days?
4 days credit that you've already done. Understand that this charge will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. Do you understand? Not only that, do you have a job? What do you do in life? Dude, it's not funny. You're using all kinds of dope. You've got no job. What the hell are you going to be doing in 30 years from today, man? You know, you're going to end up on the street, jobless, prospectless, ain't got no money. Where are you going in life, man? It's not a good way to be in life. I know that you like to have fun. I know that you like to party, but you got to think about your future, because if not, and your mom and dad are not going to be here forever. Your auntie, your uncle, they're not going to be here forever. And if you don't have them in your life and you got no job, you got no money, you're going to be on the street begging, either that or you're going to be slinging. You get caught up in that. You're either dead or with a 40-year sentence. How old are you? Have you ever had a full-time job?
Yes.
Doing what?
At Chevron in Lake Charles. I was a pipe fitter.
You were a pipe fitter. For real? So why stop? And?
See the workers come.
So it's easier to just get workers' comp and do nothing, I guess, right?
No, I just never went back, like reapply after.
Okay. You have to do something in your life, Mr. Wakefield, because if you don't, you're going to end up in jail with a lengthy sentence or on the street. That's not a good way. You work hard now, so you set yourself up for the future, so you can have vacations. You can buy nice cars the legitimate way. What you're doing now, it sucks. Just bottom line, it's not a good way to go through life, man.
Judge, while he's in custody, I can have a MAC social worker talk to him about options.
That'd be great. Dude, pipe fitting, if you get a trade like that, you can kill it, man. Making 20 to 30 bucks an hour. Holy you can buy a Benz, man. You can, with that kind of money, you can kill it. What you're doing now, it sucks. It sucks. And I don't even know how you're getting your money to do the dope. Anyways, you got to be getting it from somehow. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record. It'll be there for the rest of your life. The reason I'm telling you this, Mr. Wakefield, is because your demeanor and the way you act when you come in here, you think it's a joke. And what I'm trying to tell you is that your future should mean something. We have enough brown and black people in custody as it is. Your life is hard enough as it is, being a black and brown person in society. It doesn't get easier the older you get. It gets harder. You get fatter. You get uglier. You lose hair. The older you get, the more unemployable you get. So if you don't set yourself up now, you're going to be nothing in 20 years. Do something, Mr. Wakefield. Don't become a statistic. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, sentence you to the agreement. I will roll your court costs. One more thing. I'm done with catch and release. So if you continue to come back with criminal cases, what we're doing today, the plead on the spot, be done. It's not going to work. Do you understand? If you come back, it's not going to go well. Good luck, Mr. Wakefield.
And Judge, if I could just get you to make a note on the docket sheet that he pled on the same day I was appointed. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Okay.